Welcome to Celebrating Act Two. Celebrating Act Two is the user manual for the second half of your life.
Welcome. My partner and I, John Coleman, are in the presence of the inimitable Bill Jordan. How you doing, Bill?
I'm
Mr.
doing.
Baby Boomer. Good to
I'm
see you, Bill.
fine, but puzzled because I really don't know what inimitable means. I've always heard the word, but I've never looked it up. So I guess thank you, maybe.
Well, if you
We'll have to check later because I just sort of pulled that out of the air.
if you step in
Inimitable.
it, you'll know what it is. Trust me.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Hey, Bill. Here's the
Yes, sir.
deal. Today we Art and I are celebrating your birthday. I know it was actually a couple of weeks ago because
Yeah,
we follow you on Facebook, but you turned 66.
I did. I
Congratulations.
did. Thank you, thank you. Better than the alternative.
And did you
Yeah,
have?
yeah, yeah.
Was there a lot of activity? Have you been working on this for a long time?
Working on turning. I've been
Yeah.
working on it 66 years. Yes.
Yeah, and then probably there was a couple of months in pre-camp before then.
Yeah, I had to do a little pre workup
Yeah.
for that.
So how's it feel? Does it feel any different? I know once you told us that you didn't have any magic birthdays where you were really, dreading it or looking
Yeah.
forward to it, but how's it feel to be 66?
I think I am a little more reflective about things, and I am mindful. Guys, I love quotes, and I've got another quote for that: is never regret growing older. It's a privilege denied to many, and so I don't take the days for granted. And I mean, I can feel that I'm slowing down a little bit. You think you can do something, it's like, no, I just. I went to play golf the other day. I was trying to swing like I was swinging when I was 30. And I just been on the phone with a friend of mine. I told him I'm getting ready to go play golf for the first time in a year. And he didn't say, hey, play well, have fun, enjoy your day. He said, well, don't hurt yourself. and I hurt myself on the second swing. So,
That's
we just got to allow a little more time to warm up and stuff like that. But no, I mean, I feel great. And I think attitudinally and mentally, I think we can all say, anybody I talk to, we're all like we're 25 mentally. We
yes.
think like that. And my brother lost his mother-in-law here a few weeks ago. She died at the age of 98, and she was a spark plug till the end. And he told me she had even said to him, "Wow, to be 85 again, that would be great." But that was her perspective, but that's how good
Sure.
she felt. So I think it's a matter of that we do get a vote. We get to cast a bit of a vote on how we do as we get older, as far as what we eat, if we get enough rest, if we take care of ourselves. And I've been trying to do that. I slack from time to time, but every now and then I get back on board and, still just try to get a little bit better when I can, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
So
So
I have
all in all, to answer your question, I feel great.
so I have a question for you. Obviously, you're staying fit. You're playing golf. You're doing other things. Is the fact that you're super loyal to your clothing? Do you think that has something to
Well,
do with it? Because we know that if you're not anything, you are at least loyal to shorts and hats.
Yeah, the shorts with the holes in them. And by the way, that's the same T-shirt you wear every time we see you.
it keeps things simple. That's one of my 15 practices. Keep it simple. So if you can eliminate that decision making at the beginning of the day or whenever you put your real clothes on, it might be later in the day.
Yeah.
The less you have to decide, the better. So just start kind of, here's my go-to. I've got caps. I must have 37 caps in my hall closet, just a few steps away, but I rotate 3. So
So,
that's just the
by
way
the
it
way,
is.
quick question. We're not going to discuss a whole lot of that today, but you are now on the government dole on the payroll again, aren't you?
I am awaiting my very first Social Security check, or some people I think misnomer my entitlement check. I paid toward this forthcoming check for 40 plus years.
Yeah.
I don't see it as an entitlement. I see it as coming back a little bit of what I put in.
Yeah. And that's all it is, a little bit. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
hey, it's your money.
Yeah, isn't
God
it
bless you.
interesting how 10 years ago, when all those old folks are getting all that money that was busting the budget because our government actually borrowed from that fund that they shouldn't have been touching, that it was an entitlement, but now
Yeah.
you're reaping what you've sown. aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit, and then it's going to be taxed.
So, Bill, from the perspective of 66, a rich 66, a healthy 66 year
Healthy,
old,
healthy.
tell us what you think 50-year-olds or 55-year-olds need to know, because after all, nobody can really project what you're going to feel like or look like or be like
Right.
10 years from now.
Well, you guys are smarter about this kind of stuff than I am, but I would, if I were to have to do it over again, when that option came around every year at work to maximize my 401k contribution, I would have done it. And I never did that. I always perceived that I needed the money. And I'm learning now, with nowhere near the money I was earning when I was working full time, there are pros and cons to that. Um, I would have maximized that money that I contributed and being invested, and you then using the time value of money, which is miraculous. Um, that would have put me in a little bit better position than I'm in today. I'm not starving, but I could have been a little better off if I had been thinking about that. And then to go back and rewind a little bit what I just talked about, I think when you're 50, um, don't get that mindset of that you're old. I mean, I've talked to 25-year-olds who think they're old when they turn 25. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Yeah.
old. So don't have that mindset that you're old. I mean, what's the old song about when you're young at heart, right? Remember?
Sure.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. Is our attitude? A lot begins with our attitudes, and again, we get a vote. So watch what you eat. There was another quote I heard the other day. What was it like? If you start viewing if you don't view your food as medicine, one day you will be eating your medicine like food.
Oh, that's cuts close to home.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and when you think about that, if you make bad choices all along, you're going to pay that price.
Yeah. So that hamburger diet I've had for 40 years really hasn't served me
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
And but I hear that from people, hey, I've lived my life, I'm going to eat the cake and I'm going to eat the ice cream and I'm going to party all night and it feels good, but there is going to be a consequence to that. And if you're willing to face that consequence, then fine. I
Actually,
think
the
most of
truth of
us
the
I think
matter is,
most of us I think most of us want to live a long life, but we want to live a long life with a quality of life.
Yes.
yes,
I don't want to live a long time if I'm bedridden.
so,
Right.
Bill, you're absolutely right that if you're willing to live with the consequence, but it's like so many people who used to smoke when they were younger. You don't think of consequences 40 years down the line. That's
Yeah.
just so far away. Uh,
Yeah, it is, but that day's going to come. That's kind of
sure.
like save for a
Well,
rainy day. You save for a rainy day because believe me, it's going to rain.
we know that, but our 25-year-old didn't know that, and our
Well,
50-year-old probably
and a
didn't
lot
know
of
that.
50-year-olds don't know it
Right.
either.
Right.
So good perspective. And any thoughts about maybe 10 years from now at 76?
Well, I'd love
Can
to
you
have you
picture
guys.
yourself at
I'd love to
76?
have you guys. We'll be doing this again in some form. We'll probably just be thinking about it in broadcasting, not even have
That's
to have
right.
laptops or anything. But wouldn't it be neat if in 10 years, you guys go, you say, remember when we talked when you turned 66 and how does it look now?
Yeah.
I think, again, if I do what I can without being, crazy about it, I want to live my life and enjoy myself. But I think if I take care of myself, without going overboard with I'm not trying to be a Mr. Olympia at this age, certainly. But if I, keep up with some good exercise and stay active and keep a good social circle, good strong friendships with family connections and all like that, I'm hoping that I will feel great and I will
Well,
be able to
Bill,
say, man, I'm, at 76, I think I'm going to be doing okay.
Bill, as I like to refer to you as our resident boomer philosopher. I thank you for the perspective because I think you're right. You at 66, I think of the baby boom generation that we're all a part of as beginning this year. They would be essentially 55 to 75. People argue over when a baby boomer began, 46 or 48 but 55 to 75. So
Right.
you're smack in the middle. And I think your perspective is really important. Being 66, perspective about maybe turning 76, and maybe when you were 56. So that's cool.
That's it.
And
That's it.
of course, we are all boomers.
Ah,
So we embrace the boom, don't we, Bill?
We do embrace the boom, and the embrace and boom is a little movement. I guess it is kind of a movement that I started last
You
last
did.
fall,
Yes,
last October, and it's basically to remind us to embrace where we are in our lives as baby boomers, that we can still get better, that we still have dreams to dream and goals to set and reach. I think we can do that. I think it's neat to be able to be a mentor to those who are younger and not just spin these tall stories that they've heard umpteen times, which granted I do. But if you can impart a little wisdom to the younger crowd, whether it be your kids or whoever, and they find some value in what you're saying, then you're kind of passing it along. And so, as I like to say, live your life, forget your age, and embrace the boom.
And
Oh,
I
and
just
you-
want
and you- and if you-
to.
and
No,
you
no,
know,
no,
if you
no,
want-
no, 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 John.
Yeah.
I've already anticipated what you or I normally say at this point, and I have in that last little segment put Bill's website address there, because at that website, not only can they see all of the Bill Jordan boomerisms, of which there are 15 or 16, but they can also go and get their own Embrace the Boom Cup, can they not?
Now, Art, are you talking about the website that is www.billjordan.com
You're
slash embrace the boom? Is
you're
that the
No,
one you're talking about?
no,
No.
that's not the. I hope that's
No.
not the one because you won't get there.
Oh,
right.
what?
It's it's Bill Jordan.
I blew that.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Bill, he'll erase that part. It'll be seamless. You'll
Right.
never know a thing.
Right.
Oh,
No, it's
yeah.
Bill Jordan, embracetheboom.com. And yeah, there's a 16-part video series I've got of what I call my practices that really have helped me when I practice them. I do have a calmer, more fulfilling, enjoyable, fun-filled life. And then people get the mug. They enjoy the mug because it kind of anchors their day. Many of us start our day with some very strong coffee. So I'll fill that mug a couple of times or three, and just it anchors me to remind myself to embrace the boom right where I am.
Okay,
God bless you,
so
Bill.
with that and our blown sneaky way to get in a shameless plug, which we no longer did because we butchered the end of it.
Not a problem.
I think it's time for us to say, Bill Jordan, thank you this time. Until next time. And always my other inimitable friend of this forecast would be John Coleman. And if you're an inimitable, and he's one of those things, then I'm in good company.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
For more on Celebrating Act Two, visit our webpage, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and tell your friends. Celebrating Act Two is the user manual for the second half of your life.